Hey everybody, good afternoon. I am just logging on to answer a few questions that have come in the last day or so and tell you how we're feeling today. Folks are just starting to join, so I'll kind of hang out for a sec. Everybody can look at Willie. I think he's finally resolved that we just have to sit here. He's happy if we're just sitting with him, so that's good. So, good morning, everybody. No, it's not morning anymore. It's afternoon. I want to thank everybody for sharing the video that they did on the news yesterday. That was so nice of them, and it was such a nice piece. And just appreciate you all sharing. Just want to remind everybody, as long as the video is public, please share away. You don't have to ask me if it's okay to share. Folks are asking, is it okay to share these things? Yes, that's why they're public. That's why they're out there. So feel free to share. I will just let you know while people are still joining. Yesterday when I spoke to the news, unfortunately, I learned that some jackhole or what would you call them? Back where I'm from, we call them shit stirrers. Messaged the news about Rick's work. And luckily, they were very kind to inquire off a video about that situation. And so I just wanted to start out by saying, first of all, Rick was not showing any symptoms on his last day at work. He just happened to be off the 2 days in a row. He's always off on Wednesdays because he has school all day, and he did not get sick until Thursday. And so he was not showing any symptoms while he was at work. And again, his employer has been amazing, and they are amazing, and they take everything about the health and safety of not only their guests but of their employees really seriously. So if you are not someone who shared a desk with him at the office, you don't need to concern yourself with that. But also, even if you did, he wasn't sick yet. So there is no reason that they're being concerned about anybody we came in contact with before day one of our illness. And so I just wanted to give also a couple of updates about some people who, for various reasons, needed to get tested, and also just bust some myths because we've had some people overreacting. I know that's shocking. So one, I saw someone the evening before I was sick. So you all might remember I just really was out of commission on Saturday, and just laid on the couch all day long. I had met someone here at the property, shook hands with them, had to visit with them several times. Not super up close and personal, but we had physical contact, and we were chatting a lot. She works in a field where she's exposed to a lot of people, and they were just taking the precautions to also be tested because she has some people who are in high risk groups in her life. She tested negative. My friend Kara, hey Kara, Kara's employer somehow learned that she had seen me on my birthday, which was several days before I fell ill, and they would not let her come to work, and they sent her to get testing. And I checked in with our folks at the health department about how they felt about that, and they said it really is an overreaction. It's being it's not necessarily even being smart. If I wasn't showing symptoms at that time, and also Kara wasn't showing any symptoms, there's no reason to think that she should need to stay home. So just a heads up about that. She's still waiting for her test results. So they made her do it, and it's now been well over 24 hours, and she doesn't have her test results back yet. So I think that that's what we're going to expect. The more people who are going in to get tested, it's just going to take a long, these tests aren't rapid tests, or rapid results tests. So I think that we're going to expect to see a longer wait time. I've had a couple people message me and say that someone maybe was working with their husband or with themselves and started to feel unwell and left the workplace. And I think the precautions that folks are taking is to just make sure that anybody that came in contact with those folks are really paying close attention to whether or not they start to have symptoms. Which brings me to my friend Kim. Hey, Kim. Many of you know that I had dinner on Monday night. So I was sick on Saturday, was feeling okay on Sunday, just a little rundown. By Monday night, my friend Kim was in town and wanted to take me to dinner for my birthday. And so she and I met up and had dinner. And we were together for 2 hours, sitting across the table from each other, because Kim is a smart person and a responsible person and a nice, normal person. Kim did not freak out. And Kim contacted her healthcare provider. And Kim excuse me, and Kim stayed home and self-isolated, and she has been monitoring. She still has no symptoms whatsoever, and the folks at the health department have been in touch with the people where she lives, and so they are just keeping a close eye on it. So just want to, kind of update you guys on the status of some of these folks who did have close personal contact with me. Since some of you who did not have close personal contact were very concerned about the contact you did not have with me and perhaps that you were going to catch something. So anyway, just wanted to clear that up. I will say, just a quick shameless plug. I see my friend Jen is on there. Look what I got today. It's probably backwards, but I got the I shouldn't do that. I got the census form today. And just want to remind everybody to take the census, my2020census.gov. You can take it online. You don't have to wait to get the paper form. If you're like me and you like to fill out forms, maybe you'll just want to do it on paper. So quick update on how we're feeling. I had a really shitty evening and night. I had a migraine yesterday. So for one stranger who said I did not look like I felt well, and then a couple of my friends who said they could tell I didn't feel well, I was in denial yesterday and was really hoping that I would shake off what I was feeling around lunchtime. And it just proceeded to get worse. And the weather was changing. Again, I have a lot of sinus and allergy issues, and migraines are a problem for me, specifically when the weather changes. So someone asked me if that was, if they thought it was related to being sick. No, for us, we were getting quite a weather change. A front was coming through, and we got rain, and and we have just a change in the front, and so I was very happy that my doctor had just called in a new prescription for me. One of my neighbors was kind to literally drop what he was doing and go pick up my medication because we'd had some kind of an issue with the pharmacy. I think it was just a glitch in the app, and I'd been trying to refill my migraine meds for literally months and had not been able to get them refilled, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. So anyway, it happened just in the nick of time. Rick is feeling about the same. He is home, so if you missed that update yesterday, they kept him for about 24 hours in a very special observation unit at Vanderbilt Hospital in the research wing, something like that. And he was, kind of isolated in his own little special VIP box. And they didn't really do too much for him. They did give him a little fluids. They gave him some water and a tiny bowl of pasta. So he is feeling about the same. And I can't remember if I shared with you guys, I think I did, that the night before last I'd started to experience a little shortness of breath. And that is still about the same. Yesterday, I just noticed if I bent over or applied pressure, I guess, maybe to my chest, like I rolled over on the bed to pick Willie up, and it made me start coughing. It's really, I hate to even say exertion, but walking up the stairs had made me, have to take smaller breaths than normal. And right now we have an entire couch full of clean laundry that's folded that we're just like waiting for it to put itself away, I guess, because we don't really feel like taking care of any of that. So anyway, everything is just about the same. Now that I got up and took a shower, I'm feeling much better. I took another dose of medication and expect to just, have a normal day today right here in self-isolation. So let's see what else. Oh yeah, just thank you guys for helping other people find these videos. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments, especially those of you who have said that you've been able to share the information or share the videos and to calm people down in your own circles, especially my people from my home state of Alabama. I know everybody's in a frenzy there, and it's just really appreciated that you think these videos are valuable enough to share with others. I know I've said it a million times, but panic and frenzy really have never served a great purpose in times of crisis. So just just keep that in mind. And remember, if you have folks who are highly anxious, just to, really kind of calm them down. The only time that, panic really serves us well is probably if you're being chased by a lion or something and you need that adrenaline to kick in so that you can run super fast. So just don't panic. Okay, so what else? Okay, great. Some people have had some new questions. I wonder why your symptoms are so mild. And also, folks wanted to know if the virus loses strength. Is my body just stronger at fighting it? I like to think I'm stronger. But we really don't know. I mean, what we've heard is that people actually do get just have varying degrees of symptoms and of sickness. So who knows? The folks did ask again. Some folks have asked again if we had the flu shot. I had the flu shot, and I do not know if it's relevant. It's just a good idea to get your flu shot. It will not give you the flu. And actually, Rick did not get it this time. He usually gets one. And so yesterday, before they left the hospital, they gave him a flu shot. So who knows? And we don't know about, what is really happening with the virus and whether or not it's losing strength. Rick does not smoke. That was one of the questions about maybe why he was having, more of the issues with his chest. And he doesn't have asthma. He doesn't have anything other than some seasonal allergies and stuff like that. So, so I can't remember who asked me this. I promised to try to cough on this video today. Folks want to know what this cough was like. Was it dry or was it wet? It is that literally this morning in the shower, I was laughing because I was like, actually, it kind of sounds a little like kennel cough. It's just like, it's not super wet. Part of me says I would appreciate it being a little more productive because when you cough and nothing happens, it's just irritating. So if you've watched all my videos, you may remember me saying that on the day that I felt my worst, so last Saturday, I did have a bit of productivity to my cough, only maybe twice, and I really haven't had that happen since then. So it's just a nagging cough, and it's just a pain. It's just bothersome. So if you're lucky, I'll have a reason to cough here in a moment. Okay. How long have you had the virus? So just a reminder that I was sick on Saturday. That was March 7th was what they're considering my day one. Rick was sick 2 days before that on Thursday, March 5th. And what's the predicted length of the illness? We don't really know that. I mean, I think that's why they are saying 14 days. If, the old saying that goes, you need to let it run its course, it'll take 2 days or 14, 2 weeks or 14 days. That's really what we've been hoping for here. So we are just really in a day-by-day situation. We already talked to our friend Josh today to check in on our symptoms, and they'll just keep monitoring us and tell us when they think it is safe for us to move about the population. So folks have asked when did Rick, at what point did he decide he needed to stay home? Literally his day one. And that is, I don't see how, even on Saturday when I felt so unwell, I don't see how you could go anywhere, right? Like he had to, the day that he drug himself to the doctor, it was all he could do to get there. So I don't think that anybody who's on their, what's going to be considered their day one is really going to feel like going out and doing a whole bunch of stuff. So just know that he was not out spreading his cooties when he was feeling unwell. The only places that he went was to the doctor's office to get tested. He had to run by the pharmacy, I think, to pick up his medication, but he was not out and about, touching people and touching things. They are going to follow up with him on Monday with a telehealth check. Hey, Pete, nice question. And I will say, I have used an app to do a visit with a doctor. I have used Doctor on Demand because it's provided through my insurance and it's a $10 visit. So that might be an alternative for you if you just want to check in on some of your symptoms and see what they recommend. But again, it's just like any other kind of upper respiratory issue or illness. They're going to tell you to take care of the symptoms. So if you feel like you need a prescription, for example, for a cough syrup or something like that, that would be a good reason to check in. We really haven't needed that. We have a prescription and we haven't been taking those at night. We've been able to sleep at night, and we are not being kept awake by coughing or anything like that. So that might be a good alternative for some of you if you don't want to go, sit in a doctor's office. But I will share those files again that came from Vanderbilt Medical Center, which is my healthcare facility and our provider, because they have some really great tips about the things that you can do to help yourself feel better when you're feeling unwell. One of the things that I did yesterday and last night was that I sleep with a heating pad anyway on my back. I do not follow the manufacturer's instructions, so I'm not condoning this, but I'm just telling you what I do. And I got a second one and put it on my chest just for that warming sensation. And it just felt better. So, you could obviously fill a sock with rice, heat it in the microwave. That works really well too if you don't have a heating pad or any of those kinds of what are they, like clay things that you can heat up in the microwave to help you have just the warmth can be soothing. And I know that if you're not feeling well, you may not feel like taking a shower. I'm the first person to say I usually don't want to go take a shower. It just feels like a chore, and it really has helped. It has helped to kind of just feel better. Standing in the hot shower has been really awesome. So if you are not feeling super great, just remember to take a hot shower. Let that water just run over your back and over your chest, and you'll be surprised that it really will help you feel a little bit better. Someone asked in my chat with my friend Donald over on Instagram about about taking care of ourselves. And Donald is a vegan, and he's just a real health nut, and has always been someone who is into more holistic ways of managing symptoms and things of that nature. So I will just say, I'm a vegetarian and I eat a pretty decent diet. And that could also be something to attribute to the severity of symptoms. Who knows? But that is the only thing that is pretty unique about me or about our diet. So, okay, guys, I will go and you guys have had so many questions. Let me go take a look. Oh, quick shout out. Thanks to my mom for sending me something from the peanut shop in the arcade in downtown Nashville. We don't feel like eating it right now, but we were very happy to get it, and it smells amazing. And then my friend Amber up in Wisconsin, Amber sent me a Kringle, and I'm very excited to see that. Again, I will have to try to eat it because the only thing that's really sounded good was like sugary carbs. So I'm excited to have that, and really appreciate you guys sending us stuff even though we can't get out and about. So I'm going to do a quick scroll here and see what questions folks have. Jen, you sent chocolate. I have to tell you guys, if you're expecting an update, you're like, oh, you haven't said anything about sending me something. We got new mailboxes in our complex. And so from Monday to Friday, they were holding our mail at the post office anyway. And some of it did get back over here, but I think we may have some stuff being held captive at the post office because they had to hold all the mail while they rekeyed everything and all of that jazz. So we will find it eventually. And let's see. The normal turnaround time for test results. So Rick's came back in. Yeah, he says 24, but I think it was a little less than that. It was probably more like 18. He was tested in the afternoon, and we got a call the next morning. Mine was 24 hours. And like I said, my friend Kara has been waiting on hers now for more than 24 hours. So I think it maybe depends on where they are sending their test for processing, and just obviously how backed up the lab might be. Sarah is asking, I thought they could be shared even when you're not symptomatic. Yeah, that is something that's been circulating, and I don't know that for sure, but what our new best friend Josh is saying is that they're not tracking anything before your day one. It's probably just too unpredictable, and knowing when you were exposed to it or whatever. So I'm extra about stuff like that. So I went way back in my history and told him from my last trip, which was 2 weeks or so before I felt unwell, and they did not want to contact anyone before that time, so they were not concerned about that. Okay. Oh, Jeff, my allergy symptoms are the allergies and COVID symptoms amplifying one another. Literally, my allergy and sinus issues are the bane of my existence, and especially since I moved to Nashville. So like we're in this little dust bowl. So even people who didn't have allergies before when they moved to Nashville start having allergy problems. I don't know if it's not really funny at all, but the week before I became sick, I had just started allergy shots. And so I was like, man, I was just getting ready to get started with those. So, what I am noticing is those things are just around all the time. I think it possibly has made it difficult maybe to identify what is because of COVID and what is really just allergy stuff. But they're saying, you're not having like a runny nose, for example, with COVID, and my nose is running a bit today. I'm about to blow a snot bubble. And so, I'm attributing that to the rain and to that dang Bradford pear tree out back. So, thanks, Lindsay. I do realize that these videos calmed a lot of people down, and that was truly my intent. And I will say this again, the reason that I started to do these videos was actually because when we got Rick's diagnosis, we were getting lots of questions from friends and family. And so I did the video to just update them because I couldn't keep up with all of the messages that I was trying to send to people individually. And as quick as I could give somebody an update, they were firing off more questions. So that's why I started to do these. And then several of my friends really wanted to share, and that's when I decided to take them public. So I just really appreciate knowing that they are helping people. So keep sharing them. Again, Rick does not have asthma, and we have what was the highest temperature you had?
I already put in there.
He already put it in the chat. We've had like a 101, 102, but nothing that's been super high, like 104, 105. Can they test people for the antibodies to see if someone had it weeks ago? I do not know that, and I don't think they know that. There are still a lot of unknowns.
How do we know that?
There are still just a lot of unknowns out there. And I think the unknown is what's also scary for people, right? Like, but they just don't know. And so I heard some folks saying that there's a person out in Nebraska who was sick on a cruise ship, and they're still not letting him out of quarantine because he hasn't had 2 tests that came back negative. And just a reminder that they changed that requirement that you would have 2 tests come back negative before they would let you out of quarantine just this week. I believe Thursday was when that changed. So they're not going to require us to go back to get that test. Praise Dolly, because I was already dreading it. Like I was having anxiety about having to have the test again and then have it again 24 hours later because I was not going to be able to handle it. So it was so uncomfortable. Let's see, what else do we have here? Like I said, I need a moderator. What type of meds are you on, and is it working? Hey, Ellen, nice to see you. So we have been, we had some cough medicine today. They gave me some little pill that looks like a vitamin D or a vitamin E pill that's supposed to be for cough. And because I was still having that lingering, I took one this morning. But that's really the first time that I've taken any of that. Everything that I've done has been my regular allergy and sinus medication. I take Mucinex D daily. I take Zyrtec, and also take some I do a nasal rinse every day. So if you guys are not on the boat with getting doing your nasal rinses and you have any kind of symptoms that are upper respiratory, it is amazing and it will change your life. If you have frequent sinus infections, it is highly recommended that you do them every day. And again, it will change your life. So I know it's not the most glamorous thing to talk about, but it really does make a difference. So Rick's not really he's taken some of the cough syrup, but we haven't really taken anything other than Tylenol, just for some of those aches and pains. I wish I'd had something stronger yesterday with that headache, but otherwise we've just taken care to, drink juice, to drink lots of water. I was drinking that throat coat tea for several days in a row. And yes, Bronwyn, I will send you that information.
Sarah.
Let's see. Sarah, you don't want to see Rick right now. I just told him to go take a shower. Oh my goodness. So can somebody be a carrier and not get the illness? You know what? Actually, we did hear some folks saying that, it was possible for someone just like me when I first had the symptoms. It wasn't very, I wasn't feeling super unwell after my day one. And so it could be possible, I guess. That is, again, just something they just don't know. So, I think we're going to continue to learn more as we find more people who are being exposed and who are, oh my goodness, more people who are being exposed and just sharing, hopefully, their stories as well. Everybody knows what those little pills are. They're amazing. Oh my gosh. So, is this the same as the flu test where they swab your nostrils? Yes, but they went way up into what I felt like was into my brain cavity on each side and then also down your throat. So, not super comfortable. And again, they do also have to send in a flu test when they send in the COVID test. So they want to make sure you test negative for the regular flu. All right, guys, I think that's just about it. Again, I don't want to make folks panic about this, but obviously that's never been my intent. But it's just the reality is, once things start to spread in the community, other people are going to get sick, and so just don't freak out about it. If you are someone who has your, you have issues like asthma and you're worried, just be in contact with your doctor. I messaged my doctor yesterday because she was refilling the prescription, and she just said seek help if your symptoms get worse and you really feel like you're in distress. But that has not been the case for me. So we are just trying to take care and rest and stay hydrated. So keep the questions coming. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Now that everybody is social distancing, everybody's probably eagerly awaiting for the opportunity just to chime in and feel like you're connecting if you're a social butterfly. So thank you guys again. I will share any more information as we have it, but I don't think that there should be too much more to share with you all today. So we'll give you an update tomorrow on how we're feeling. Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.